Happy sunny Sunday. Have you ever noticed, like when you're having a good day, it just keeps getting better and better and better? Or if you kind of have one of those days where you're like dropping things and spilling things or sort of just missing things, stumbling a little, how that kind of just keeps on going all day? Or have you ever noticed, like in a dating pattern where you're dating and it's a new person, but it's kind of the same thing over and over and over again? And I want to talk a minute about that. This week we're going to be learning into our shadow self. And I didn't know if this was really connected until I'm just starting to see it right now, which is why I love sharing out loud what's building, because then I get to hear the next step. So anytime that we have done something once, it's easier to do it again. And a lot of times we're doing this on purpose, like we're learning something, like when we're riding the bike. After we do it a couple times, we'll stop falling down, So it's nice when we can see that pattern. That's a consistent pattern. What we are doing on our human journey, at all different spots on the map, or board, or time, reality, whatever you want to call it, wherever we are wanting to gather evidence of our stability. A lot of times we are letting life happen and we're gathering evidence from that. And then we sort of react to that. Once you start creating on purpose and, reaching for conscious on purpose thoughts, like energy wellness, my thought energy is mine. And I know that thoughts are, a dime a dozen, and they are just thoughts. I can choose to focus on them and grow them, or I can choose to let those pass and reach for a different channel if I want to. Like, I am not my thoughts. The thoughts get to funnel through me, and that is all gauged by my point of attraction. My point of attraction is gauged by how I'm feeling right now in this moment. So if I'm in a good mood, my point of attraction is higher. And if I'm in a kind of a down, sad, or tired mood, my point of attraction is lower, slower. And this is just our own personal way of being able to feel our way into this knowing experience, this self-guided thought energy, conscious creation that we all get to do if we want to. And so from here, we can see, okay, when I do something one time, it's easy to do it again. From there, you can give yourself the chance. Do I want to keep doing this again? Or do I have to somehow change this so that I can get a different outcome? In the beginning, it is just as simple as noticing that you have to find that fork and change that spot. You don't have to necessarily take any action other than that awareness, usually for a little while. Because the next thing you will know, you will be on the way to doing the things that are appropriate to the new thought stream. When something has been done more than once, it has energy behind it, because we are energy beings. We are the fuel that lets our thoughts come into life or not. We are the one that watches that channel play out or not. We change the channel or not. We are all of that, and then we get to watch ourselves play into that role. We get to do all those parts. So, okay, I know that if I do something once, it's easier to do it again. I know that if I've thought something more than one time, it has energy behind it. It has me behind it. So if I want to sort of discontinue a stream, I would have to let myself not think about it. I have to distract myself on purpose. There's many ways to do that. We could booby trap our house. We can put a rubber band on our wrist. We can set up an alarm on our phone to remind us to check in with ourselves and make sure we're still in our point of our intention. We're still there. I haven't lost track. I haven't gotten distracted by fear or old programming. Then we can know that after a few days, it just takes 3 days, sometimes less. If I can keep myself distracted from that original stream And just know that that new intention is going to come to me. I just need to hold the pulse. I need to let that boop, 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 boop. You need to let the drips drip in to a flow. You have to do that from in your belly, from in your brain, and in all your body. Your energy has to let that come to life the same way the other one got to come to life. And after a few, no more than 3 days, if you can really discontinue that thought, which is, and we have alchemy. That's one of my favorites. You guys know, my whole house is one great big distraction from the reality that got me here. And that's why we'll talk about shadow work this week. Because even though we may be looking at a situation that we want to experience differently, we wouldn't know that if this messenger, this discomfort, this pain wasn't telling me so. And this is where we come into forgiveness and the healing. This is where you're the one that can gauge how fast or slow this moves, and this is not for anyone else. The rules are not the same for this as they are in certain clubs or meetings. There is no one for you to call. There is no mission for you to accomplish. This is the thought process. This is a you inside of you thinking, feeling, acknowledging, and deciding for yourself. One thought at a time, one area in your life at a time, over and over and over again. I feel like I just swallowed a piece of pollen. It was really weird. Hey, good morning. I'm great. I was outside this morning. So yesterday I learned that pumpkins have like male and female flowers, which makes total sense. But I had no idea that you would know that, or that was even a thing to know. So this morning I went out there, total sausage fest in my pumpkin patch, boy flowers all around. But I did find one female flower, so I was able to help those pumpkins pollinate. I felt bad. There was no actual verbal consent, but TikTok told me so. I have learned so much from TikTok. I got the burpees, my bad. I've learned so much from TikTok, seriously. Like, real stuff for my homeschool, stuff politically, stuff for my garden, stuff for homesteading, stuff about the animals, stuff about me. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I have really, 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 really appreciated the learning I have gotten and the exposure I've gotten from seeing into other people's lives in such a real, raw way in TikTok land. Like, I'm not joking. I was talking about this the other day about, some people kind of rag on like social media, but there was a time in my life where social media was my only outlet for like human interaction. And I believe that it was part of that helped pull me through, when I was like back in the day, supposedly living the perfect life, married, children, my own home daycare, and by the outside, living in the neighborhood of my dreams, literally, guys. All the things on paper that looked like Nancy would have been happy was the most unhappiest version of me I have ever lived. But yeah, I lost my train of thought talking about that. But yes, hold on, it's coming back, and then I want to go away again. Yeah, it's definitely been a journey, I will say. And I'm proud of myself for thinking myself well through each part. And anybody can do that. I know that I let myself get to a tormented space in my mind. And that's, I think, why it feels so important to me to share out loud all the time. Like, don't let yourself get tormented. The bugs agree. Thanks, bugs. The relief is here now. You've done enough of the hard. No more pain. Stop it. That's kind of how it feels. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready for this day. I'm gonna feed the birds. Oh my God, I'm having the best day. I have just realized now I want to try and befriend a groundhog, and there's a couple groundhogs here, so stay tuned.